Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Road to the Oscars. I'm Harrison.
I'm Zach.
And today we're talking about Arrival. Now, quick side note, you might be wondering, why has our set changed all of a sudden? Well, as it turns out, my family is in town this weekend, and we also lost the footage for Arrival.
Yay.
So you're gonna see this set again in a couple of episodes come time for, Fences.
Fences.
But since we lost the video, we're re-recording it right now in a porch.
Yep.
So, here we go. Let's talk about first impressions of Arrival.
First impressions.
So, what'd you think?
It's really good.
It's good?
Yep.
Yeah, I really like the film. This was my second time viewing it. I saw it once when I was still in Florida. But yeah, it's a good film. Quality acting, good screenplay.
Original story.
Which is, it's an adapted screenplay, but the story is
original alien story.
Yeah, it's a movie about aliens. But it's not your typical alien invasion movie. When I was seeing all the ads for it when it was originally coming out, I thought that it seemed like a pretty typical alien film.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be,
Just alien invasion.
And
then, USA going all America on them.
Exactly, and then, being the winners and everything.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. So let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about plot. Here's a spoiler screen. You can go to here if you don't want to see it. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
It stars Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
Who you might recognize Amy Adams as Lois Lane in Superman, and Jeremy Renner is Hawkeye in the Avengers.
Both lackluster characters.
So, this follows Amy Adams, who is a translator.
She's some sort of linguist.
Mm-hmm. And she was a professor at a college. And Aliens land. I really like the way that they handled the aliens landing.
Their ships kind of just hover above they don't necessarily land.
They come to Earth.
Yeah.
But I really like the way they handled the aliens coming as well. You see most of these films and they show the alien ship dun, 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 coming.
This one they just kind of.
This one they don't even acknowledge it. They don't show the footage. They'll show news coverage of it in most films.
Yep.
Because that's what would happen if there would be news coverage.
I mean, they did show news coverage.
They did, but they didn't actually show you news coverage for a long time.
Yeah.
They just let you hear about it.
Yep.
Which is kind of the way you would go about hearing it in real life.
Everyone at least when they initially landed, all of Amy Adams' students were like, "Oh, turn on the TV," because there was news coverage.
But they were hearing about it through their phones and stuff first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's also talk about the beginning of this film real quick.
Okay.
You see some scenes with Amy Adams' character and her daughter.
Yep.
And her daughter grows up, gets cancer around a teenage age, and dies. Unfortunately. So you see that at the beginning of the film. So you go through the film, and then we're gonna leave it at that for now. You go through the film. Aliens land, and they get Amy Adams' character to come and try to communicate with them because she's a skilled linguist.
And they have Jeremy Renner there because he's a theoretical physicist, I believe, and to test him, pretty much,
to see if they have faster than light travel.
Yeah,
or something.
If they know math.
So they go there and they start talking, and Amy Adams' character figures out, this language cannot be understood, and even if it could, we can't speak it because it's mostly guttural moans and stuff. So she decides, let's try writing. Let's see if they understand written language. And through that, you start seeing the signs that the aliens are giving, and she starts to understand their language.
Yep.
And as she starts to understand the language, she starts having flashbacks to her daughter. Or we think they're flashbacks.
Yeah.
Until we come to find out later, towards the end of the film, the twist.
That the aliens perceive time in a different way. They briefly mention between Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner's characters that there's this theory when you immerse yourself in a language that you can you start to think differently and stuff like that.
My dad is from Guatemala, so I know a little bit about this. I've asked him about it. The theory is that if you start thinking in a different language, it changes your perception.
Yeah.
Of how it changes like the way you see the world. So like, Americans view the world in a different way than Japanese people do.
Yep.
And linguists theorize that part of the reason is because of the language.
Yep.
So, with this theory in mind, Amy Adams starts learning the language of the aliens, who perceive time in a circular way, which is also interesting because that's the way they structure the film.
Yeah.
The aliens perceive time in a way that humans don't. So they see forward and backward.
Yep.
They live throughout it all. And as Amy Adams' character starts to understand the language, she starts to perceive time in this way as well.
She starts to dream about
her daughter, who doesn't exist yet.
Yep.
See, Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. Jamie. Their couple name would be Jamie.
You shipping them now?
So Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner's character actually have like a love plot throughout this film, and you find out that they actually go on to get married. Well, not married necessarily. We don't see that. They go on to have a kid.
Well, yeah, because she says that she one of her lines is, "I realize why my husband left me."
Oh, yeah. So they get married and they have a kid together, and because she perceives time in this way, she tells Jeremy Renner's character, "Our daughter's going to get cancer as a teenager and die."
I just realized something.
What?
The daughter's name is Hannah.
Yeah.
And it's a palindrome, and it's forwards and backwards, just like the time thing.
Yeah!
I just realized that.
Way to go! You're a winner. So, yeah, and that's basically the plot. She goes on to save the world, basically, by calling the Chinese, what's he called? The General or something. And
he's in charge of the Chinese Navy.
Mm-hmm. So she calls him and gets him to call off a strike on the aliens by saying the last words his wife ever said to him. And the reason why she knows that is because of the way she perceives time. He told it to her in the future.
Yep.
So that's basically the plot. Let's talk about acting.
Acting?
Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams do a wonderful job, I feel.
Yes.
I think they did fantastic. There's really not a lot else to be said. Forrest Whitaker is in this film. He has a much bigger role than he did in
Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, significantly larger.
He's actually in the movie.
Yeah, he's actually a part of the movie. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of acting. Yeah, pretty much.
That's about it.
Let's talk nominations. Arrival is nominated for Best Picture, obviously. Best Director.
Okay.
Best Writing Adapted Screenplay.
Okay.
Cinematography.
Yep.
Best Film Editing.
Okay.
Best Sound Editing. Best Production Design.
Sweet.
And Best Sound Mixing.
Awesome.
So, I think, let's talk about these individually.
Okay.
Best Director. Thoughts?
Mel Gibson.
I knew it. Mel Gibson. The director of this is Denis Villeneuve.
I mean, he's a good director, but
yeah, it was good. It was well directed, but he wants Mel Gibson. He wants Mel Gibson. Best Writing Adapted Screenplay. I think it's gonna win that.
Yeah,
it deserves that.
I mean, it was based off a short story, and trying to turn a short story into a feature-length script is a lot.
Mm-hmm. But it does it really well, and it's very intriguing the whole time.
I mean, I haven't read the short story. I'm not sure if like they added a bunch of stuff or if
how accurate it is to it,
or if they like just expanded the story and threw in a bunch of stuff to make it longer or anything like that.
Regardless, the writing is really well done.
There's still a lot of stuff to do to make it a well-executed script. And
you can't take like a 3-page story and just put that on film.
Oh, that's solid. It's a great idea.
It's also nominated for Best Cinematography.
I want it to win cinematography.
It's got really good shots.
But La La Land is also nominated for cinematography.
That's true. La La Land has some amazing lawn shots that I like.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the director, Damien Chazelle, he really likes like long takes of stuff, so.
Mm-hmm. But I like that, and it's part of cinematography.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. I like it for cinematography, but I think I like La La Land more.
Yeah.
Best Film Editing.
You know. It's
got some good editing.
Yeah.
Best sound editing.
I either want it to win sound editing or mixing, maybe both, just because the score and all the alien noises and stuff fit really well in the movie,
and we actually got to see a cool little thing at the end of the movie because we saw a re-release that had like what's basically a bonus feature in the Blu-ray that's definitely going to happen. Where we got to hear a bit about the production, and they talked about how they made those sounds, and
it was just a guy.
It was a guy like just going
making the sound
into a microphone
for like the main noise with the aliens,
and then they added stuff in and edited it a little bit, and it doesn't sound like a person at all. So I liked their sound editing and mixing. I think it's nominated for both, so I think it should win one of those.
Yep.
And lastly, best production design.
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot.
I mean, they made a spaceship.
Yeah.
And it was unique and something that I wouldn't have imagined.
But I mean, there wasn't. There wasn't a whole lot.
It was real. It felt realistic.
Yeah.
Even though it was clearly not realistic.
I wasn't incredibly impressed with it though. Just because like I don't know my reason. I just wasn't hugely impressed by it.
So that's other nominations. Let's talk about
final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It's really good. Go see it. If it's still in theaters. If not, then wait until Blu-ray.
Rent it on Redbox or something.
Yeah.
Good movie. Good movie. If it's available anywhere in theaters, go see it while it's there.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a cheap theater and it might not be necessarily as good quality, go see it. It's worth your money. So that's basically it. That's all I had to say on that film.
That's about it.
So we still have to place it on our board. Here's the board.
Fucking.
In front of my ugly mug. That's it.
See at the top.
At the top?
Yeah. We put it at the top.
Yeah.
Because
let's put it at the top. Yeah. So we got Hacksaw Ridge and Manchester by the Sea. We're putting it above both of those.
Yep.
That's definitely not where they are, because right here is where the board thing is. So, there you see it. You see it going in there, and it's above them now.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Tune in next time for Moonlight.
Yep.
I'm Harrison.
I'm Zach.
And this has been Road to the Oscars. See you next time. Oscar nominees.